Nerdy sports fan here. So, we're continuing our series grading the 2017 draft. So, common wisdom about the draft is that you really don't know what you have until they've been in the league for a few years. Well, it's been a few years. So, let's dive in here. We're in the AFC South, wrapping things up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are in a place right now that my team, the Buffalo Bills, were in for a very long time. You really don't have a quarterback, so you really don't have a team area. And it's rather unfortunate because the market, it doesn't really give them something very attractive for everybody. Bigger markets like Los Angeles or New York or even Philly, they've got a lot more to offer. So more different kinds of people can find what they like off the field in those markets. Jacksonville doesn't have that kind of thing going on. So what they need to do is build culture. They need to build from the inside. They need to build from the draft. They need to select their kind of people, make a culture that people want to play in. That hasn't worked. It hasn't worked because Tom Coughlin was a tyrant. He was everything bad you can say about old school NFL coaching, Tom Coughlin was. He was also everything good about old school NFL coaching, but he took all of those elements, the good and the bad, into his front office position and created an absolutely toxic atmosphere that Coach Doug Marrone fully bought into because he's an old school kind of guy. So nobody wants to play for the team long term. You don't have a quarterback, you don't have a good locker room, and it doesn't matter how good you draft in those situations because the Jaguars have actually drafted pretty well recently. So let's get into this year. So with the 4th overall draft pick, you got a running back. It's Leonard Fournette, mind you, who was back-to-back years, just bang, bang, best running back in the damn league. He trailed off. Okay, he trailed off so hard. This is a guy who did not take care of his body. Okay, he's partying too damn much and took his talent level for granted. And he had early success, but it didn't continue because of the attitude he brought to his game. Now, it was the second year he was crap in that way. Third year, he did better again. Just last year, he was catching everything. I think he had an insane number of receptions. If it wasn't for Christian McCaffrey just catching fucking everything, I think he had like 100 plus receptions. We would be talking about Leonard Fournette transforming himself into a receiving back. I want to say he had 70 plus receptions. I like Fournette. I like Fournette a lot. I love him for fantasy football. A top 4 draft pick is definitely not where you get a damn running back, but I can never complain when you lock up a starting position that you know you don't have to really do anything about. I just wish Fournette would have done a lot better with his opportunity in the league, especially in that second year. I mean, the guy needed to pull his head out of his ass earlier than he did. Moving on, second round pick, number 34, Cam Robinson, offensive tackle out of Bama. I get the draft strategy. You get guys out of the SEC that are known commodities, but Cam Robinson has definitely not really been spectacular. Has he been a solid offensive lineman for this team? Sure. Absolutely. You can get solid offensive linemen in the damn 5th round. So what made him special enough to get him in the 2nd? He played for Alabama. That's really it. Okay? SEC players, they get graded differently because they get so much more exposure. And there's so many talented players on their team that they can look better than they actually are. And that's really the case here. Okay? There's better offensive tackles that went way after Cam Robinson. But Cam Robinson got the exposure. There's more film available. There was more big name coaches speaking his praises, specifically Nick Saban. I mean, how many people are going to tell Nick Saban he doesn't know shit about football? So when he says the guy's going to be good, yeah, you take that opinion and say, well, yeah, probably going to be pretty good. Anyways, moving on. Third round, pick number 68, Dwayne Smoot. The defensive end out of Illinois is medium kind of depth rotational player. Getting Josh Allen has helped. You've built up that pass rush, so now somebody like Smoot coming in a rotational, give the guy a rest kind of role, is solid. All right, I am not going to knock rotational defensive linemen. I think the defensive line rotation is one of the most important things on a defense in this age of very talented running quarterbacks and offenses that are going all over the damn place. You need to get these guys rest if they're going to be effective. They are attempting to move 300-pound human beings against their will. It's very, very difficult, and there's no way that they can continue to do that all game at an extremely high level, create any sort of pass rush. It's not going to happen. So having a rotational depth guy, that's really where you get him. Okay, third and fourth round, I would expect that sort of level of talent, so he fits right in. All right, now, fourth round pick, Dede Westbrook. Now, Dede is one of the better receivers on this team. You can make an argument that Chark is the best. You can make an argument that Dede's the best. It really depends on what kind of attack that they're planning for the opposing team, which one gets more action. And he's a fourth round draft pick. So you have a solid playmaker. On most teams, Dede is a number 2 or a number 3 wide receiver at the absolute worst. So you got him in the fourth round. That's great. It's great. Okay, so you've got a couple of guys where their talent level really just fits right in with where they are or exceeds it. Dede, getting him down in round 4 is huge. Okay, that's way better than the people normally selected in that range. Smoot fits right in, really. The earlier 2 draft picks, Robinson, it just, I would love to say better things about Cam Robinson, but he's just not worth the second round draft pick. And Leonard Fournette, god damn it, if the guy just didn't party and drink his ass off too much and just played at the level he's capable of, I'd like that pick a lot more. But either way, it's a running back in the top 5, which is goddamn idiotic. So these are the only players left in the league. The only ones. Moving on, 5th round pick, Blair Brown, linebacker out of Ohio State, gone. Jalen Myrick, 7th round pick, not in the league. And Marquez Williams, 7th round pick, not in the league. So those top 4 are the only ones you're grading it on. They're all still in the league. They're all still on the team. That's solid enough. But you made some dumb decisions at the top with positional value in your 4th overall selection, and just, I mean, almost anybody other than Cam Robinson would have been better value at your 2nd round selection. So they're all on the team, though. They all have a role. So you have 4 players that are still worth a damn in the league, so you can't fail it, but it's a C- at best. All right? Here, like and subscribe, please, if you enjoy the content. And keep in mind, I have a Twitch channel for my gaming, the Nerd Sports Fan. I know, clever, right? I also post gaming content on my other channel on YouTube here, but video games isn't really the thing for YouTube, so that's not as frequent. So if you have a Twitch and you enjoy gaming content, I'm all over Warzone, as well as a couple of fighting games. Hit me up. Thanks for watching.